We are all acutely aware that we're living in very strange times. In my 42 years on this earth, I've never known anything like this. But it is heartening that during these difficult times, the vast majority of humanity are pulling together for the greater good. The greater good. But sadly, every country has a minority of arseholes who don't give a fuck about anyone but themselves. Here in the UK, at the weekend, people still go to the beach, despite the advice given by the government, and on my walk every day, I will pass large groups of teenagers who don't give a shit, and neither do their parents. But when it comes to idiotic protesting, the USA is in a class of its own. Now, in no way is this video meant to be anti-American. I love the USA, I've got a lot of really good American friends. However, as a Brit, I don't get the whole Second Amendment thing. I don't understand some Americans' absolute obsession with firearms. But I'm not saying that's a bad thing. The UK and the USA are very different in that aspect. The UK has got some of the strictest gun controls on earth. So you may have seen in the news, in many states across the USA, large numbers of protesters, many of who are armed, coming out en masse to protest against the government lockdown. Some of these are conspiracy nuts who are screaming at nurses that they are fake nurses, they are in fact actors, and that the whole COVID-19 thing is a government conspiracy. I understand that some states in the USA have open carry policies, but if you look at these photos, can I ask a question? How small does your dick have to be that you feel a man whilst shouting at a healthcare professional whilst carrying what to all intents and purposes is a fucking assault rifle? And I also know the argument that they're not really assault rifles because they're not fully automatic. But let me ask this. If that is a hunting rifle, what the fuck do you need to shoot at 20 times before it drops dead? Either you're a crap shot or you're hunting a fucking Terminator. So, let's look at some of the demands from the protesters. I need a haircut. Do you really need to protest on the street about that? I need a fucking haircut. But it doesn't matter that my hair's a mess because I'm not fucking going anywhere. Massage is essential. Well, it's not though, is it? It's a luxury. And if you're that desperate, then just buy one of those electric massages off Amazon for about $25. Job done. Let us get our teeth cleaned. Do they not know how to use a toothbrush and dental floss? I would suggest the problem with their teeth isn't poor dental hygiene, it's the crystal meth. Give me liberty or give me death, with a photo taken outside a Baskin Robbins. I suspect she just needs some sugar. And if it's a choice of liberty or death, if you want to die, just go and talk to some of the gun nuts and say you voted for Hillary. Then we've got this guy who says that COVID-19 isn't real, whilst wearing a face mask and a hazmat suit. Restricting the sick is quarantine, restricting the healthy is tyranny. So we need to segregate the sick from the healthy. Maybe we could build some special camps for them, come up with some sort of final solution. But I've saved the best till last. Social distancing equals communism. And it looks remarkably similar to this placard from the 1960s. And I have to say, the majority of these protesters look like poorly educated white power cousin fuckers. So at least that's something that the USA and the UK have in common, because here, most of the people ignoring the lockdown rules are unemployed racists as well. But in both countries, it is only a tiny minority of people. But when I see these protests in the USA, I think, come on America, you sent man to the moon. You built the Dodge Charger, made some of the best films of all time. You're better than this. So far, over 45,000 Americans have died of coronavirus. And if the USA doesn't get on top of it, in a few months we could be in a strange situation where Mexico is building a wall to keep the Americans out. Stay safe, stay sane, support the NHS, and if you live in a country that hasn't got a nationalised healthcare system, please look after one another. I've just seen 3 young kids, who I'd guess are 2 brothers and a sister, playing tag. But instead of saying, tag you're it, when they touch each other, they scream, now you've got coronavirus. What a fucking time to be alive.